Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to What Shall We Do Next, and today I'm back with another dream video. I haven't made one of these in a while, and I've had so many dreams lately, it's insane. I actually made a video yesterday, but I just never ended up uploading it because it was just me whining for 10 minutes about my life and how nothing's going well. But then I decided I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna upload content like that anymore. But it did help having a vent. That definitely helped. But I did have a crazy dream that I want to share with you guys. It's not really for you, it's more for me. As you guys know, I like to make dream videos, just to kind of journal and like document them so I never forget them. I don't know if you guys do this, but like I will have a dream and I don't want to forget it, and then like I think to myself, I'm going to write this one down, or I'm going to record this one or something. But then you end up just like forgetting it throughout the day. And this is one that I was like, I'm going to write it down in my notes while I'm like conscious, because when I get too conscious, that's when I forget all about it. So I did it. I wrote it down, and it's probably not going to make much sense to you guys, but this is just for me. So here's the setting, right? So this is how I like to do it. I like to tell you guys the setting first, and then at the end I talk about how it made me feel. So I write it down as in like a list of things that I remember, and not so much a story. So I wrote school at 10:30 p.m. Now, in this dream, it was like my old high school, but it was kind of different. It seemed bigger somehow. It was more, I guess the rooms were bigger, and there was more of them. And it was nighttime, obviously, 10:30 p.m. I did notice that on a clock on the wall. This is funny because this is like where it got kind of crazy. So there was a teacher from my elementary school, and she was in this dream teaching kids. But this was in my high school. So I was dreaming of like kids and like teachers and stuff from my elementary school in my high school, mixed with kids that were also from my high school, like my old childhood friends and stuff like that. Like some of them were there too. Here's where it gets extra funky. There was people from my current place of work right now also there. And it was kind of weird because I wrote their names. I'm not going to tell you who they are. Keep in mind, they actually don't work there anymore. But these are two people that did work there. And I wrote that they were there too. There was no teacher, but it felt like we should have a teacher, even though I was like a grown-up. I was like the age I am right now. I also wrote that I was left in charge, which I do remember it feeling like that. It felt like I was kind of in charge, and it was up to me to deal with this. Moving forward, everyone was confused if we can leave or stay, but we had to tidy up. I do remember that we were all kind of like, is somebody gonna come back and like dismiss us? Is like class dismissed, or do we have to stay here and wait, or can we just go? Everyone was kind of like confused, but the place was a disaster. Like there was so much mess around, and like everybody was kind of being silly and messing around, including me. But I just knew I had to tidy up. I had to. Like it had to be done, or I would be in trouble. Now I went across to a different room across a hall. And in this room, it seemed so familiar in the dream, but it's like I've never actually been in a place like this in my life. But it definitely felt like something I've seen before. And it was like a classroom, but there was a staircase in there. And there was like tables in there. And in this other classroom was a girl who I recognized from actual high school. And she was there, and she was sitting at a desk right next to the stairs. And she was doing like classwork. I don't think I conversed with her. I didn't talk to her, nothing, but I just remember seeing her there. There was also another kid. I've wrote another kid's name, and he was like, I guess you could say like the tough guy of my class, and he was there too. Again, I don't really remember talking to him or anything like that, but he was definitely there in the dream. Now, going back to being in the actual classroom, the lights went out, and me and this girl who I used to work with, she never actually went to school with me, but she worked with me in my job. We had our flashlights on our phones, trying to see what everyone else was doing and where they were. And everybody was ducking. Like, you could literally see everyone. I was like this with the flash. And you could just see people here and there, and like everybody was kind of like ducking and hiding. Then another girl who I used to work with, but no longer do, and she, again, never went to school with me, she said to me something about people who were at my place of work. So she said, even though we were in school in the stream, she mentioned the place of work. She said, people who were at my place of work 8 to 10 years ago were the OGs, and the newer ones don't understand. I do remember her saying that. which is kind of funny. And she was the only one good at helping me tidy while everyone else was messing around and running about. That's what I wrote, which I do remember. I remember she was helping me. She was helping me to tidy up. I did go into another classroom, and there was younger kids in the other class, and they were again sitting at desks doing lessons. And that's all I wrote for that part. And then I just ended it with how I felt. Felt confusing and a little sad. Oh God. But I do remember actually feeling that way when I woke up this morning. I felt like the dream itself was confusing. It was like such a bizarre dream, and like there was people from different parts of my life all together. My high school friends, some kids from like I knew from elementary school, and people that I've worked with. And we were all kind of together in what it looked like a school, and it felt like a school, and it was similar to my school, just different. But I guess it made me feel kind of sad because although the dream was pretty funny, and like I do remember running amok in this classroom because it was huge, it was like super long, no desks or anything, and we were able to just kind of run about. But I did know I shouldn't have been doing that, and I knew I had to kind of get everybody under control before we left and like tidy the place up. And nobody was really paying attention except for this one girl who I used to work with, and she helped me. But I definitely felt a little sad when I woke up because it made me realize that I miss people. It was such a fun dream that it made me sad when I woke up. I was like thinking about them, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen some of them in like a couple of years, and I miss them. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.